Confirmation and close is the sixth step in the sales process. This stage is very crucial for the sales success, as the client either makes the decision to purchase or not to purchase in the end. Sale close is understood as a well-placed verbal or non-verbal attempt to the close. An introduction to the close might be a simple question, such as, "So, what do you think?" or any form of gesture indicating that a customer's response is welcome. Timing. Unfortunately, something such as the single right time to start with the close does not exist. Professional salespeople should be prepared to start with the close anytime and anywhere. However, the moment they choose for attempting the close should still be fitting. Therefore, some general recommendations exist. On the one hand, one says that after finishing off the sales presentation and after answering all the immediate questions from the customer, is a good moment to begin with the close. On the other hand, it might also be that there is an appropriate moment for it even before the presentation is completed. Professional salespeople can notice such moments by various verbal and nonverbal signs of the customer. If the client, for instance, starts raising questions about the price, the delivery, the payment, etc., and/or starts to study and test the product to increase eye contact with the salesperson to nod affirmatively, etc., salespeople can try to start the close. Besides knowing how to figure out when a sales attempt is appropriate, it is helpful if a salesperson is aware of the following 7 principles that describe how customers are more likely to buy. Consistency principle. Customers are more likely to buy if they already agree with several points in the sales presentation. Commitment principle. If pre-purchase efforts would familiarize the customer with the product or service took place, clients are more likely to make an order. Reciprocity principle. If the salesperson does the client a favor, the client usually feels obligated to return a favor. Social validation principle. If customers know about other customers who are similar to them and who have purchased the product, they are more likely to buy it too. Authority principle. If a company or a salesperson is perceived as an expert, customers are more likely to buy. Scarcity principle. If there are just a few models of a product left, customers perceive the product as more valuable and desirable. Friendship principle. It is more likely that customers make a purchase if they like the salesperson.
Now, we're going to talk about the closing techniques. To know the indications for a good moment to start with the close and being aware of the different principles that might help to be successful, salespeople should be able to implement different closing strategies. The more strategies a salesperson knows, the more successful the close is going to be. There are 5 most common closing techniques. All of them can be subdivided into 4 approaches. First, we have the clarification clauses, and these can be divided into a something clause, choice clause, counterbalance clause, success story clause, contingent clause, boomerang clause, future order clause, if-when clause, probability clause, and suggestion clause. Then we have the psychologically oriented clauses, and these can be divided into stimulus response clause, minor points clause, standing room only clause, impending event clause, advantage clause, reserve advantage clause, puppy dog clause, complement clause, and dependency clause. Then we have the straightforward clauses, and this can be divided into ask for the order clause, order form clause, summary clause, repeated yes clause, benefits clause, action clause, negotiation clause, and technology clause. Then we have the concession clauses that can be subdivided into 4 clauses. The first one is a special deal clause. Then we have the non-risk clause. Then we have the management clause. And finally, we have the takeaway clause. At last, we have the last sale clauses, and these can be subdivided into 3 clauses. The first one is the turnover clause. Then we have to pretend to live close, and finally, we have the ask for help clause. Finally, for further advices, occasionally a professional salespeople let the clients close the sale. Doing so strongly refers to the aim of satisfying both parties, creating a win-win situation. However, in order to implement it successfully, the salesperson must clearly emphasize the value of the product or service first. It has to be clear for the customer how a purchase will help them to solve their problems and to be more successful. After asking a closing question, not speaking for a while puts pressure in the potential client, which consequently raises the possibility of a positive response, the commitment to purchase.
Closing mistakes. The close is a crucial stage in the sales process. However, some salespeople avoid making a closing attempt for various reasons. In some cases, salespeople are not flexible enough to make their close before finishing their complete sales presentation. Other, especially experienced salespeople, refuses to implement new effective closing strategies. In contrast, new salespeople frequently avoid making a close because of lack of confidence. No salesperson is able to achieve a sale every single time. Such sales rejections are important to learn and to improve. Instead of worrying about the rejection, it should be seen as learning experience, helpful feedback, and an opportunity to learn how to deal with rejection and motivation. After a successful sale, the goal of a company and of salespeople is it to build long-term customer relationship. In order to reach customer loyalty, it is necessary to serve and satisfy the customer and to keep the customer sold. In respect to service and satisfaction, salespeople have the possibility to take several actions, such as making a call or writing a letter of thanks and making sure that the order is delivered on time